So, hello everybody, my name is Espinosa and I'm going to introduce you to the Pacific Plastic Science to Solution Network. For you to understand why this project was important, I want you to understand the level of the threat. 70% of the total marine debris found at sea and shorelines in Galapagos came from plastic. How we got to that situation? Because ocean currents are carrying into the archipelago the waste that is dumped into the ocean by the South American countries and also by the fishing industry, fishing in the area. Also, the plastic that is not well managed within the archipelago is contributing to this problem. This is having negative effects on the biodiversity, on the ecosystems, and on the local livelihoods as well, that is in human health. So from the beginning, it was clear that we needed structural changes, not only in Galapagos, but also in South America. And we cannot do this alone, but we needed collective effort. With this idea in mind, we created the Pacific Plastic Science to Solution Network, and its aim is to promote a circular economy for plastic in Galapagos and in the region. So how we're planning to produce this change? The idea is to act at different scales, as I already mentioned, locally, but also regionally, particularly in Peru, Chile, and Ecuador, and globally by participating in spaces like this where we can reach wider audiences, but also, if possible, to influence international instruments by understanding and taking action across the cycle of plastics when it's manufactured, consumed, and recycled. Also by promoting innovative solutions. For example, in this picture here shows one of our partners that is trying to stop plastic to go into the ocean, but cleaning the rivers with a technology that they invented and implemented themselves. By bringing together scientists from different academic fields, we're working with natural science, social science, and political science. I should mention that this project is led, managed, and implemented mostly by women. By creating and exchanging knowledge across the region, particularly between Europe and South America, by promoting partnerships between scientists, NGOs, and industry, and by supporting local initiatives to scale up. For example, a project conducted by our partner Reciba in Chile to understand how the origin of the plastic bottles found in the ocean with the help of the community was replicated also in Peru and in Ecuador. Also, the strategic actions that we are promoting to produce this change are first, like to map the sources and flow of plastics entering Galapagos. We're exploring and exposing the impacts that plastic is having on the biodiversity, but also on the local livelihoods. We're trying to introduce alternatives to plastic. For example, one of our partners is creating bioplastic made from food waste. And also we're trying to raise awareness, change behavior, and reduce structural motivation. Another example is one of the partners that is trying to reduce the use of single plastic in malls in Ecuador. The idea is to provide, is to improve management measures, also to implement plans to mitigate the risk that plastic is having on key species and on fisheries and tourists. Also, like to try to scale up these alternatives to show that it is possible to use them, and also to motivate people to adopt sustainable behaviors. The idea is to provide evidence for governments to introduce policies to better regulate and manage plastic production, consumption, and waste, but also to motivate the public opinion, to pressure the government to address the problem of plastic, but also to reduce the barriers that they face to change their behavior. And most importantly, the project is aiming to provide a positive case study for the world on how to use a circular economy model to track plastic pollution, and more importantly, to show that change is possible if we all act together. So that is what the Pacific Plastic Science to Solution Network is aiming for. Thank you very much for your attention.